crafters, are you looking for a card that you can use for any occasion? We have that card for you. Hi, I'm Georgia from Creative Moments by G, and we are going to make a unique card today that can be used for any occasion. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. Today we're going to be using the color and contour stamp set from stampinup. We're also going to use the beautiful texture chic DSP that is so beautiful. And for our ink, we're going to use Flirty Flamingo and Garden Green, along with Memento, of course, to stamp our message. So the first thing you'll need to do is get your base card for this wonderful fold back pop-up card. And let me show you what it looks like. Look at this card. How cute is that? So easy to make and yet can be used for any occasion. And make sure that you stay with us till the end because we have another card to show you that we created using this really fun template. So take out your cardstock and you're going to need to cut your base card 5.5 by 8.5. Now I want to remind you that all of the measurements will be listed over on creativemomentsbyg.com. But we have a free PDF tutorial for you. So you can click below this video in the description box and you'll be able to pick that up. That's just our little free gift for you. But let's go ahead and turn this base card on its long side and let's go ahead and do some scoring. You need to score at 2 1/8. Make sure you have moved this cutting blade out of the way. And at 4 1/4. And that's going to create the base of our card. Now, after you have done that, you will need to cut some panels because we want to decorate the front. So go ahead and cut you 2 bottom mats and 2 top mats. And we will get those laid down. But let's go ahead and just crease our card. So we're gonna fold it in and fold it back. And now we have a good crease on our score lines. So let's go ahead and lay down our panels. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay my top mat on my bottom mat, and then I'll just be adhering that to my card. And look at this beautiful paper that we're using. Look at that gold. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to go ahead and adhere my second panel. Now you could create your background on these panels, and a really beautiful background to create on panels like this is the cling wrap. And I'm going to link that video below this one in the description box so that you could see how to create your very own background. We think you'll really enjoy that video. So let's go ahead and adhere this to the front of our card. And I am loving this color. This is Coastal Cabana cardstock. Such a beautiful color. This pink is Flirty Flamingo. And I think it goes so nicely because we have little specks of it in this DSP. Now we're simply going to open it up and add this panel to the inside of our card. Now you will need a white inside mat for this. Cut our squares that we're going to place on the front of this card. Do you see how we have them placed diagonally? We're going to do that. So let's go ahead and get those squares cut. Now our squares need to be 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. So we're going to cut this bottom mat, and then we're going to cut a top mat, and the top mat is going to be 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Now, if you're going to stamp this top mat, this is a good time to go ahead and stamp it. And I am going to stamp these beautiful flowers using our Flirty Flamingo. Now, the tip to doing this two-step process is to match up your stamps and go ahead and put a black dot right at the top or right at the very top of your flower, and that way you can make sure that you line up that bottom part. So let's go ahead. I know that I stamped right at the top, so let's just bring in this one and see where I put my dot right here at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up. Tap, tap, tap. And now we're going to bring in our leaves, and we're going to use garden green on those. And now we need one more. And now we're going to bring in some blends to go ahead and color these leaves in. And now let's simply adhere this to the front. Now, remember, if you are working with a directional stamp, you want to make sure that you can turn it diagonally like this, because that's how it's going to be placed on the card. We want to invite everyone to follow us on Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram. Adding that to the mat. Now let's add our second one. And now let's bring in our card. Now you want to make sure that you line up your mat right here is the same color as this bottom mat. So we're lining up this tip right to the tip of that, not to the card because there would be too much distance. So go ahead and we're going to line it up just like this. And you only want to put glue on the left-hand side. So let's add our glue. Okay, and now we're going to take the other one, decide which way you want it to be. Simply lining up my Flirty Flamingo to my Flirty Flamingo right on the tip of the diagonal. Okay, look at that. Now we went ahead and we added our sentiment page to the back page so that we have that. This is the time that you would go ahead and stamp your message if you wanted to stamp another message or maybe add some images here. But let's go ahead and create the inside mechanism. Now the inside mechanism needs to be cut 1.5 to 3 inches. And after you cut it, you're going to need to score. So let's go ahead and score at 3/4, 1.5, and 2 1/4. And then you can crease those areas, and you're simply forming a box. You can see that. And the way that we put it on the inside of the card allows us to have that really cute triangle. So for the inside of the card, you're going to need a triangle that measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 for the bottom mat. And then you're going to need a top mat. And so this one is simply going to be 2.5 by 2.5. And now you want to go ahead and decorate the inside of your mat. Now, I can tell you that you need to make sure this is turned diagonal because that's the way you need to do it. You'll need to stamp your message as close as you can to right here if you have a long message. Now, we are going to use a message that kind of goes up and down, that goes vertical, so that's going to fit very nicely. So let's just go ahead, make sure that your square is turned like a diamond and put it right here in this right-hand corner. And now you can stamp your flowers all around it or whatever image you want. So let's go ahead and get that out. I want to go ahead and do a few flowers. Now we need to go ahead and glue this on. And then you're going to bring in your trimmer because we are going to put a score line right here on the edge of this at about 1/2 inch. So go ahead and put that in your trimmer and score that. Now you need to line up your points so that you make sure you have it right. And go ahead, make sure you don't use your cutting blade and just give yourself a good score line. And now fold that over. And now we're simply going to glue in our mechanism. So take the inside of your card and take your mechanism that we've already scored, hold it in your hand and put some glue on this side. Now turn it upside down and put it right against the fold of the card, making sure that it's on the middle between your two diamonds or your two squares, okay? Go in here and make sure it's just right and just hold it for a second. Making sure that that's right in the middle. Okay, now you simply fold this in half, put some glue on this top piece and fold over your card. And you have your mechanism. So just hold it for a second. And now we have our little mechanism that's going to help us with our diagonal right here. And look at that. I love how we really have it far out to where you can see it. So go ahead and put just a little bit of glue and add this right to the inside of your mechanism. And fold it over. Open it up, and there you have it. Fits perfectly. Now remember I said I had some additional cards to show you? Let me show you those. Here is a closer look at the one that I showed you earlier. Look at this. We absolutely love this apple stamp set and these polka dots. Once again, we use the mechanism right there in the center. You can see it. We also created a beautiful one. We used the DSP A Wash in Beauty. Look at that one. Now this one we used a small square on it. So you could do the same thing. We just built it out with our flower. So we want to invite you to comment below this video. We will select someone to receive one of these cards. Once you're selected, we will put your name above at the very top, right underneath the description where the comments start, and we will ask for your email. Let us know what your thoughts are. Were you inspired? If you were, we would certainly love a like, share, and subscribe. We hope that you like this fold back pop-up card. We love it. It's a unique card that can be used for any occasion. Go out, make it a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.